I'm not sure.
LGBTQ plus.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle's having a meeting with them.
Dave
Chappelle
having a meeting with them
is now facing scrutiny. If you guys haven't watched it yet, go watch it. I'm pretty sure. Well, maybe not everyone in here, but necessarily, but a lot of people have watched it on Netflix. The Closer, his final Netflix comedy special.
His final?
Yes. According to him.
Okay.
On the contract, but then also he's calling it The Closer. Like, this is my last one.
I haven't watched it yet.
He might come back. He might come back. So I watched it twice. The night it came out, middle of the night.
Comedy-wise, how is it?
Comedy-wise, very similar to the one previous. And like the little other sort of renditions of what was the one before that? Was Sticks and Stones? Can't be. No, that wasn't Sticks and Stones. Sticks and Stones was the classic one. No, yeah. The one before this, it was like a couple ones that he would do online separately, like the 316, where he dedicated it to like George Floyd, like a more serious tone.
316 is like this one.
I wouldn't say is
no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the new one is a little bit more like that, where it's not pure full on jokes the whole time at all. It's like he's trying to send a message. Yeah. The overall message, especially where he connects to it at the end, is like cancel culture, plus we have the transgender community specifically from his own experience, judging him and criticizing him for his previous jokes that he's made on the transgender community. He's done a good amount of jokes already, especially in the Netflix run that he's had on the transgender community. And they're jokes, obviously straight up jokes, but then there's people who obviously get offended online. And this time around, he kind of doubled down, but with another notion where he's like, you guys sort of care about yourselves or want more like attention than black people or than the racial issues, or like almost like, well, yeah, like as if like transgender community is like he compared it where it went viral, like the baby joke where he was like, you can shoot a nigga in a Walmart in this country, but you can't be a homophobe or some shit like that, or you can't be transphobic. And like that's sort of like the energy that he's saying it, but he does it, in my opinion, I think it's an intelligent way. It's tasteful. It's very tasteful. I like the way he concludes it. Rest in peace to his friend Daphne, the transgender that committed suicide, unfortunately. She was also a comedian, up and coming comedian. So now, after the special comes out, like everything that Dave Chappelle does, because in my opinion, he's the biggest, the greatest comedian of all time. Commercially, you can argue Kevin Hart to the youth, those kids who don't know who Dave Chappelle is. But
wow, what rock?
I'll tell you that.
Have you been living under?
Yeah, I'll tell you that the majority of especially comedian lovers, even the Kevin Hart himself, know who the GOAT is. It's Dave Chappelle.
Because he's so tasteful the way he approaches it. He's tactful. I think that's what it is. Not even tasteful. I think he's tactful.
It's almost like he's doing science, in my opinion. You watch it, he's like doing science. Like he does this, he ties this back, blah, blah, blah.
He does it. Everything is about
even the way he moves on the stage without him like even doing it purposely is amazing. And like everything he does, it falls on the public's opinion no matter what. He's a comedian, so you have to draw the line where it's comedy, right? Yeah. But then you have the transgender community speaking out, specifically the transgender community within the Netflix building. So you have the Netflix employees being disgruntled, upset. Walking out. First of all, they had like a petition or some sort of thing where they didn't even want it to be released. And it got released. Wow. And then you have Netflix, the head of Netflix, literally speaking out publicly, saying he's in support of Dave Chappelle, freedom of speech, and like it's art, that sort of energy. But he acknowledges, he knows that people are offended. Wow. And then they were even more enraged, the employees, threatening that they're going to walk out. They're leaving. They're quitting Netflix, right? And then we have the Netflix guy again talking twice within a couple days. Like, this has never happened before. Like and then again, he's supporting Dave Chappelle. And it's like, first of all, there's a lot of money behind it. Like, I don't think that's the sole reason, because if it was obviously like some dark shit where it's like apparent and like you have a lot of the majority where it's like they're offended, no matter how much money's behind it, they're going to take some shit down because they have a reputation as a brand being Netflix. But I think the majority lies, whereas like people say it's funny, it's comedy, and they respect it. But then you have this transgender community, especially, I think it's more, it's already important, but I think it's more important because it's the Netflix actual employees coming out, and they literally did a walkout 2 days ago in public. I think it might have been in LA, and they had a protest and everything, and they were going hard, man. It was very, very crazy. They even got into an argument with like a guy who's supporting Dave Chappelle, and then Dave Chappelle, because one of the transgender leaders at the protest and stuff was like, we reached out to him, he's not responding, he doesn't want to meet with us, blah blah blah. His team was like, well, we never got that. We never knew that. Like, and then Dave's like, let's meet. So now they're setting up a meeting. It's going to happen soon, official meeting between, I'm not sure who specifically, but someone who represents that, probably someone respectable in the transgender community, and Dave Chappelle. Now, what's going to happen here?
Wait, what transgender community? Where?
Transgender community, I think maybe like one of those, maybe like a non-profit or something. I'm not sure. Like, that's another thing as well. It's like a bit confusing. Like,
that's
who represents that one person?
Exactly. It's
like who's going to be that?
We're going to get a black person represent black people. Like,
yeah.
No, hold up. Everybody has different opinions. Everybody.
Yeah.
For what? You know what I'm saying?
The one thing I will say, like, even looking back at the special, is like, he did have a slight approach where it was like, how people be like, oh, I have a black friend, so I'm not racist. He was like, oh, I have like a transgender friend who committed suicide, Daphne. And it's like, that is a slight like kind of like an excuse. But I think he did it for comedic purposes because it worked well, where he was like talking about, like, it was something about like he's like, it takes a man to do that shit, man, to like kill themselves. Like, he was like that was like a punchline. Like he jumped off the building, and it takes a nigga. That takes some balls to do that. Like some shit, like as if like obviously she's a transgender, transitioning to man. So playing into that, you know. But I don't know, man. What's gonna happen after this meeting? Like, what is really gonna happen? And is it gonna be a public meeting? Is it gonna be?
I don't know, man.
A town hall meeting.
At the end of the day, bro, the way that I see it is that
people are always gonna be offended.
Exactly. People are always gonna be offended. They're gonna be like, oh, well, you can talk about something else. But it's like, you're gonna talk about something else. Like, oh, talk about black people. You're black.
Yeah.
Some black people might get fucking offended even if you're fucking black.
You're gonna be
talk about Hispanics. Some Hispanics might get fucking offended. That's just how it is. If you're not into fucking comedy and shit, and if you know that this person is,
you won't get it.
You know, stab you with it, and it's gonna hurt you. You're not gonna get it. Don't focus on it. It's like at the end of the day, like, he's not targeting specifically you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what?
He's not Little Boozy.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Even Little Boozy. Like, what's Little Boozy gonna say? I added LOL. You're not a fucking comedian. You're Little Boozy.
It's like, I get
You're directly offending and telling someone to commit an action,
and,
which means kill themselves.
I also get like what Dave Chappelle was saying is like, for example, how he was saying like, oh, they want to feel like, oh, the black people, this and that. As in, like, that's kind of more like in the spotlight right now.
Especially
like
cancel culture.
LGBTQ and like the cancel culture.
And how quickly their rights are being affirmed compared to the rights of African Americans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, we know that racism when it comes to LGBT has been around for a while, but like,
discrimination, you mean?
Yes, discrimination, yes. So like now obviously we've seen a lot of more movements because the world is a little bit more accepting, so they're getting more support, so it makes sense.
Spider-Man is bisexual. Or is it Superman?
Superman, Robin.
The new Superman is bisexual.
Maybe the whole DC universe. Fuck it.
Bisexual?
Huh?
Yeah, like the new one in the comics. Not in the movies, but like they keep it chronological still in the comics.
That's also something, if we want to talk about it, is kind of weird. The timing is just like...
But I think that's probably what then, not to cut you off, but that's why I guess Dave Chappelle is like, I don't know.
There will be a bisexual Superman before there's a black one.
Yeah, type shit. You know
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because technically, obviously, not technically, it was.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It definitely was.
That's exactly what I'm saying is the fact that, like, obviously we know that, like, racism, especially with blacks, has gone for, like, a long time. But, like, now that LGBTQ...
400 plus years.
You know, LGBTQ plus stuff is on the spotlight. These things, like, for example, like the comics and stuff, we're going to incorporate it. It doesn't come off as tasteful, you know what I'm saying? Because like you're trying to catch the attention of what's really happening now and get more views or more readers, and you know it kind of comes off like that. Y'all weren't talking about this a few years behind.
Who?
Just like whatever the writers or whatever introducing now bisexual characters to like stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's really wild.
Because looking it up real quick, because I do remember, because I'm very familiar with like this world of like comics and like the whole superhero Marvel DC.
Yeah,
they've played with it like slightly like with Loki, they've played with like basically you can call him like a transgender in the past, but it's like as if like he's so powerful, he's a man and a woman. Like they've done that shit like that. Wonder Woman has had like female relationships. Deadpool has always jokingly, but that's Deadpool. Deadpool's always like breaking the third wall, being funny.
Yeah, Deadpool's a joke itself.
It's a joke. So it's always like he's always played with like being like gay and like kissing a man.
But they
blah,
never
blah.
really came out and be like.
But yeah, but now it's like full fledged. Even on the cover, even on the cover of the Superman's like I think it had like a gay flag, like everything on the cover.
You know what it is, man? You know what I'm thinking right now? Commercially, who's gonna be against gay people? This is the moment right now to support them.
Exactly.
So if you are on the outside and you're saying I'm not gonna watch that movie because of gay, people are gonna you're a fucking you homophobe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's easier for you to say I don't think Superman should be black. You know, that's my opinion. That's just I don't see the film, and then you're gonna have support.
Yeah, and the more occurrences that happen to just in culture in general, you realize like how literally something like how Boozy did it and like being that way straight up is purely ignorant. Like we probably knew that growing up, like it's a bit ignorant, but like now more than ever is like straight up ignorant. Even me, like having a child, like I always think about like, you know, if Ocean, my son, he wants to be whatever he wants to be, identify however he wants to identify. I'm gonna have to cross that bridge when I get there. But I'm not gonna be on some like where someone like Little Boozy is literally embracing the fact that like I'm gonna make sure he's not gonna be gay. You can't necessarily, in my opinion, I really believe you can't make sure that someone doesn't identify with whatever they identify.
You gotta fucking accept it, bro.
And there's a lot of chemical, even scientifically shit that proves like someone can be where like they don't have the full on men genes. I'm gonna break it down one day. Niggas gotta be scientists because there's a lot of ignorance with that too. People don't know that.
This idea that you're born that way. Man,
that shit goes deep, bro. It goes.
Lady Gaga said that shit.
Yeah,
and it's not a fucking joke.
Even on a personal level, like me and Evelyn, our niece, like she came out to us confused. She's at a stage where she's just confused, right? Yo, I just don't know. I feel like I like girls, this and that, blah, blah. And she thought we were gonna like
judge her.
Like judge her. She hit us up because she felt she needed the support.
Yeah.
Because her parents were gonna judge her.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, no. Well, no. You tell your parents, and they don't like that. They can talk to me.
Yeah.
Because whatever you feel, you go and you explore how you feel, and it's fine. And it's like
100%.
It's like, come on, dog. Like
it's all about the cultures, bro. They cultures, they try to hide certain things, especially like Hispanics. They'll try to hide stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've had similar stuff going on in my family with that. But it's like at the end of the day, for example, with like LGBTQ and all of that stuff, just let them do what they want to do. How is it affecting you? Yeah. I honestly don't fucking get it.
Bro, if my child was gay or something, bro, I want to support that person
100%
in any way possible.
Why would you not support your own fucking child? You know what I'm saying?
Because you think it reflects on you as a human.
What? It's like at the end of the day, it's like you're saying, oh, that little legacy or whatever that's walking around and shit like that. The first thing people are gonna think, whatever he does, is like, oh my god,
you're a bad parent.
Marloon raised them the wrong way, or
you're a bad parent.
He learned that from Marloon.
Sports.
So it's like,
look at Dwayne Wade's now daughter, you know, Zaire, I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Oh, she transitioned.
Yeah, so you know, and that's another one of freaking Boozy's victims. He's like a fucking supervillain.
Yeah.
He should be a next fucking Superman or some fucking shit.
That
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That is so true.
So it's crazy,
you can't let that kid explore who the fuck he is.
Bro, a fucking kid, bro.
A fucking kid.
Yeah, that's sad.
What does that have to do with you?
Mind your fucking business,
Mind
bro.
your fucking business, like Marloon said.
Yo.
Listen, man, Dave Chappelle, I think he'll figure it out.
I'm very confident. Dave Chappelle is such an educated person. I think he'll do it tactfully.
Yeah, man.
I think he comes with good intentions.
I think so, too.
I believe
that's going to be interesting. We'll talk about that when it happens, the actual meeting between Dave Chappelle and a representative of the transgender community here in America, I'm assuming.
I don't even know what that means, but let's do it.
Yeah. I want to know who this person is.
This is.
Are you qualified? That's like how Benny Siegel told Charlemagne, you're not qualified to ask me that question. Are you qualified to be transgender? Well, yeah, you are. More than me. Yeah.
No, transgender representative.
Yeah, transgender representative.
To represent a whole community?
Bro.
That's so big.
Whole community, bro.
Come on. How is that even possible?
Yeah.
Moving on, let's move on to Dave Chappelle's buddy. Right here. What time are we at, Edwin? What's going on? You're going crazy over there sporadically. You're making me nervous. You can say it. Say the time. Keep it. It's fine.
1:15.
Okay, that's fine. Joe Rogan.
He needs to go to bed pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
They gon' love me for my ambition.